will go through flow of execution in chapter 4, and then we will go through some of these exercises, especially the ones that are easy to just take up and finish. All right, so we have exercise 1 here. The purpose of this exercise is to take code from a previous exercise and redesign it as a method that takes parameters. So we said there are methods that takes parameters and there are methods that does not take parameter, right? And we also say we have to consider the data type when it comes to methods that take parameter. So when you are defining those methods, you put the data type there and then you return their data type. Okay, so where is my temperature? Okay, so last week, this was what we were working on. We created a Java lesson package. We already explained how you create a Java package. For you by now, you should have a grasp of how to use your a grip of how to use your IntelliJ and how to create packages, how to create classes. Those are fundamental and they are easy to do. So we created this class last week and we explained a lot about variables, that there is something called variable declaration. As you can see here, there's something called assigning values to a variable. That by assigning value to a variable, you are assigning a value to a space in the memory of the computer system. All right. So you are assigning, you're saying this, there's a space called B, and then it is carrying a value of what? Of 10. Okay. So we also talked about the main method, how that you know a main method through the word main and this syntax here. And we also say when you see the open and the close bracket, everything inside of it represent a block of code. It's as simple as that, a block of code. All right. We talked about the print statement also. Print statement in Java is written this way: system.out.println or system.out.print, depending on what response you want to output to the console. If it is print line, then it means you are expecting other output on the console, another line. But if you are not expecting another line, just as the syntax depicts, you just use what? Print. And if you have played around with that, you will have seen the differences. Then we talked about methods, creating methods. We said there are methods that does not method like this does not take in any parameter. You can see the bracket here is what is empty. Inside of the bracket here is empty. This method does not take in any parameter. It is just a normal method. It is void and it does not have any return type. So it is a void method. But as you can see, there is another method here that takes in a parameter. And this parameter here is what? Double radius. Double radius. When you're talking about the parameter, you also have to consider the data type. That was what I was trying to say the other. And the data type of this radius is what? Is double. And you see, when you are writing that method, you are also you are writing what? The double there. You say publish static double calculate area. And then the return, you return what? You return it according to the what? To the return type, which is also the parameter type. All right. So that is the summary of what we did last week. And considering what we have to discuss today, we talked about let's look at this exercise. Say write a method called, sorry for the background noise, write a method called print America that takes day, date, month, and year as parameter and displays them in American format. What they are trying to say is they want you to display something like this. So if we write a method called this, let's go to and call this one, we'll call this one some exercises. But I really want us to go far this week. But you must know that in programming, you have a lot of things to do from your hand. that will improve your. I'm sorry, guys. Let's continue. And so we are talking about this exercise here. We want to create a method called print America, and we want to print something that looks like this here. Okay. So what do we do now? Start from. Guys, please give me 2 minutes. All right. So I'm sorry for the interruption. Okay, so let's continue. So we said you want to create a method. So I just created a class called some exercises. Don't forget the normal principle. Let's write our what? Our main method. Okay. Public static void main string. I'm removing this. This is just auto-generated for me. Okay, so for exercise one, let's look at it again. We say a method called what? Print America. Hmm. Okay. So public static um let's say string, because we want to we want to take in parameters, certain parameters, and those parameters looks like what? String. If you look at it very well, it says something about that takes the date, right? Date, month, and year as what? As parameter. So we say something like this. Um let's see. Um should we declare int day. Int day is a number now. The day in date is a number, right? So I can say int day equals to 2 or 29. Today's date is 29. Okay. I can say int month is int month is what? Let's see. Int month, day, dates, month, and year. Day, date, day, date. Okay. Day, date, month, and year. And year. So let's call this year 2025, right? The month can be, the month is what? It should be a string, right? Okay, so we have months to be what? Um, should be February, March. This is March. March. Uh, March. Okay. So I have date. I wonder what this date is. So 7th March 2025. Okay. Okay. We have something like this and we want it to be as what parameters. So I can say um day, month, day, month, and year. Mm, let's put it in day, string, string month, string month, and what's int here. Okay, definitely let me remove this date. So there's another way I can use date, but let's look at what we have here. So we want to print a method and say, okay, and display them in American format such that test your method by invoking it from the main and passing the appropriate arguments. The output should look something like this. Monday, July. Okay, okay. Monday is the day, right? Let's see again. What did we put as our day? Oh, yeah. This is where we are making mistake. Today is Saturday, Saturday. So it should look something like of course when you are talking about Saturday now, this is no longer a number. This is how you know this is now what a string. Therefore, this one will be what string. And then I can come here and change this one to what string. Okay, let's look at the format they want us to print it again. So they say it should be Monday, comma, month, day, and year. Monday, Monday, that's day, and day is month and year. Date. Okay, so this is what they mean by date. So this one should be 29 instead. 29. So this is what they mean by date. So at the end of the day, we can put our hint date inside here also. I hope we are following. Let's try to follow. So we are following this instruction here. So write a method called print America that takes the day, date, month, and year as parameters and display them in an American format. Test your method by invoking it from the main method and passing appropriate arguments. The output should look something like this, except the date might be different. Okay, so it should look like this, that the day, comma, the month, the dates, and then the year. Once you have debugged print America, write another method called print Europe, whatever. So we'll just do this print America. So we are told to call, so we can say return day, um date. So we can concatenate dates also and call it um, so date. Okay. return day plus comma date, okay, plus comma, my comma should be um mm, okay, all of these are space. All right, so I have a space comma plus date, right? And then I have a concatenation here, and then I have a comma in between. So I can do something like this.
Sorry, man. I have an observation.
Okay.
So there's a say that it's supposed to print day, months, date,
Day,
and year. So go back to
day,
your code.
month,
And so
okay,
go back to your code. So
day.
you put
Okay, month
day.
comes before date, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
let's go back.
So the month before date. Even your on your variable self, you can the variable you declare.
Mm,
So the date, the month before the date.
okay. So we have the month, and then we have our comma here, right? So let's look at it again. Now let me just copy it out. So we have, I'll put this one inside a comment. So then we have our Saturday, comma, our March, right? March, no comma, right? And then no comma, and then we have our dates. All right. So after our dates, we have a comma, and then what do we have? 2025. So we can put two spaces here. Let me just move. Okay, one space because of the comma. So we have this here. Now this is what we want to return, right? So, but we have to call this method inside of what? The main method. I think we taught us how to call method the other day, right? So you can say your print America. So how do you want it to look like? Of course, it's going to follow the same format that you have in your parameters. And what is the parameter here? Your day, your month, your date, and your year. Okay, that's day, month, date, and year. All right. Now, let's so be sure that we are not. So you can say print America, then write another one called print European. Anyway, that's what they want you to do here. They want you to write a method called print America, make sure that it has a return type, and then or invoke that method in your main method, which we have done exactly here. All right, so what is the sequence of execution like we said last week? We said last week that if you want your flow of execution starts from where what? From your main method. And everything within the main method will execute first before it goes to the other methods. Now this is the main method here, and we have a print America. So when it gets to print America, what does it do? It comes back to what? Print America method. Then it checks what are the parameters that is within here. Are they of the same data type? Then what is the return type? And then it's going to do what? It's going to print it exactly as you have in your print America method. So let's see. Sorry for the background noise. I'm not sure I can control that for now. So that we can continue our class. It's like our class we be interrupted today. Okay. Okay, so okay, we are not returning to anything right now. Okay. Let's just say exactly. Let's just print it this way. Mm. Okay. Monday, July 22, 2019. 2019. Okay. Auto generated now. Wow. This is 2025. And this is the and this is the sorry, I'm being distracted here. What looks like today is today. Okay, so I have 29. Okay, please give me 2 minutes. Mm. Oh, God. Okay. Mm, okay, let's continue here. So I said it is Saturday, March 2025. So the same thing here. Let me just copy. Cha. So you can just put a little bit of space here and we can run this again. Saturday, March 29, 2025. So you can see that we have something that looks exactly like what they have here. Okay. Saturday, March 29, 2025. Anyway, the concept of what we are doing right now is just to show you that you can write a different method and then you can call it within the main method. And also, when it comes to different methods, you have different return types according to their data type. And as for the one we just finished writing now, you can see that is a string method that returns was this. And it takes in what's done, takes in all of these things. And yeah, that's it. Let's see other assignments. Let's see other assignment. Oh, this one is super. Exercise 2 talks about the flow of execution. Now, I think this one does not even require our IntelliJ. You just look at it and then you get your output. So you say this exercise reviews the flow of execution through a program with multiple methods. So one thing that this training will give you is the ability to read codes. Ability to read codes and understand and know what exactly every line of code is doing. So read the following code and answer the question, just like English. We will read it. So we have a main method called what? So a main method. And then this main method is what is invoking a method Zippo. Now, where is the Zippo? Zippo is here. Zippo is what? Is a void method. It takes in string queens and what? An integer flag. But does not return any value. However, there is what's the name, a control flow and if statement between it, within it. It says if flag is less than 0, then print queens plus zoop. Else print system.out.print ik, and then call. There's another method here called baffle. Look at it here. So inside this baffle is what is the a queens, which is one of the parameters in this method. And then we have system.out.print bowaha. So now how will the flow of execution be? Zippo is this. So we are executing this first. Now, in the process of executing this, we have to consider this if-else statement. The if-else statement theory says this. If your condition is true, right, go on and execute. If it is not true, move to the next, move to else and execute. That's what that is how you execute the if else statement. Now look at the condition. We have flag is less than 0. Now the question is, what is flag, right? Flag is supposed to be a what? An integer. Now, if you are to analyze this very well, you can give a value to flag. We can say flag is 5. Now, flag is 5, right? If you have assigned a value of 5 to flag, then it means that you are saying that 5 is less than 0. Is 5 less than 0? No. It means that he's going to execute the else first. So he's going to say system how to print IK. So IK will be the first thing to be printed to the console. That's one. Then the next thing is it will go to this baffle and do what? And then baffle. Yeah, it goes to baffle. Now this is baffle here. Right. It will go to baffle and look at what this baffle is doing. What is baffle doing? Baffle is saying print out blimp. Right. So the next that will be printed out will be what? Blimp. Now blimp is a string, right? So it will bring out it will print out blimp, and then it will go to Zippo. Zippo is where is Zippo again? Zippo is still this one, right? Now Zippo is still this one. Now look at what value it is giving that Zippo is giving. So it is saying that this Zippo has a queen's value of pink and a flag value of -5. A flag value of -5, a queen's value of what? Pink. So this string here is what? Pink. And this flag, this int value for flag is what? Is -5. So in order to execute this, you will look at the condition again. Is -5 less than 0? Yes. As soon as this condition is true, the next thing that will be printed will be what? Will be this next line of print statement. It will print queens plus zoop. All right. Now, we are not done. Now, we go to system.out.print and print what? Bowaha. Now, it looks like we are done with what? With the entire Zippo. Which is what? Which is being called in the main method. Now, after we are done with this entire stuff here, what do you think will happen? What will happen next is we will move to the next method called baffle. And this baffle will print what? Blimp. And then what will happen? It will then go to Zippo again, right? And then it will print out what's the name? It will consider the control flow and print out pink, right? System.out.print queens as pink, and then it will print out what? -5. All right. So that is the flow of execution. I'm not sure if what I'm saying is if you understand, but let's look at IntelliJ and so that you understand everything I've been saying. We will copy this. By the way, before we copy, let me comment all of this out, and let's see. Can I copy everything? Okay, I can copy everything. Someone is someone crying in the class. We have not even gotten anywhere with Java. We are still at the very basis of the basis. Okay, so we have something like this here. Now, let me call it. I can call it exercise 2. There's no problem. Let me uncomment it first. So you will learn how to read code. It's very, very important. Now we have I will call this, don't let me comment it. I will instantiate my flag, int flag, to Let me instantiate it within the main class. Let's assume my int flag. My int flag is equal to 5. Okay, so this is what my flag is. No, let me put it here. Let me put it here. So, okay, now we have something like this. So our just look at this condition. So if your flag is 5, then it means that when you are checking the condition within here, you are saying 5 is less than 0. If 5 less than 0, that's false. It's not true. It means that it's going to go to the next statement. I mean the next what's the name, control flow, which is what else. Going to go to else, next block of code. Yeah, that's the right way to put it. So it's going to go to else and then print out. So let's see, we can say that the first thing you need to print out is IK, right? This thing is going ahead of itself. Okay, so we said that number one, you consider your main method, right? So your main method is calling out Zippo. So that's why we are in Zippo right now. And Zippo takes in string and integer. And for the integer, there is a condition for it. And we said that the first condition is if it is always true, it is going to like take the print statement. But if it is false, it will jump to the else statement. Now, because it is false, it has jumped to the else statement. And the next thing here is what? Baffle queens. Now, baffle is the method here. This baffle takes in a string called blimp, right? Now, if you look at this blimp here, we have system.out.println blimp. So it is supposed to print out what? It's supposed to print out blimp, right? Now, it's supposed to print out blimp. So we have blimp. And then after blimp, it's supposed to come to Zippo. And now, what is Zippo? Zippo is a method here that we have seen before now, and this method takes in a string and an integer. So we have a string here also and an integer here representing coins and flag. Now it means that you will come back here and you will check this condition. So now that we have a new value for flag, we won't use 5 again. We will just compare -5 to 0. So is -5 less than 0? Yes. What will happen? It will print out queens plus zoop, right? To print out queens plus zoop. All right. And what is queens plus zoop? Looks like it is pink zoop. Pink zoop. Pink zoop. Because queens is pink, right? So it will be pink zoop. Okay. Now that we are done with baffle, which is this line here, well, the next thing will be to what? To come here and say system out or print line bohaha. This one is straightforward. So it will print this one. Yeah. Now we are done here with the health statement. We'll go back here to Zippo, yeah. And you see that we are done with the Zippo. Now the next thing is to go to baffle. When you go to baffle, you see that it's printing out blimp first. And then the next thing is going to print out Zippo again. The same thing we did here. It will consider this pink right? Is ping a string? Yes, it's a string. So it's considered ping, and then it will check this condition. Now the condition says for you to execute this line, right? Your condition has to be true. That is -5 less than 0. True. That means you can print out ping, which is queens, and what? Zoop. So we have ping zoop. So apparently that is the flow of execution, right? Let's see what this gives us. So this is just to check your write the number one next to the first line of the code in the distance. Write the number two. Okay, this is how you execute it. You are not supposed to use you're not supposed to use an IntelliJ. Oh, what happened here? Oh, okay. Yeah, we are not supposed to. Yeah, it's like the thing is looping and looping. Okay, you know what? Let's find a way to this is the main method, right? So I can just say normally we are not supposed to use the system to execute this. No, I can't use that. I can't execute this. Let me leave it like that. Anyway, you understand what the flow of execution is now. And I think that is the same thing we are going to be doing with exercise 3. Exercise 3 is saying draw a stack diagram that shows the state of the program the first time ping is invoked. In case you don't know what stack diagram is, have I explained that in this class? I'm mixing classes together. Oh, have I? I think is it this page? I explained okay. I explained stack diagram before now. I don't know if it is chapter 1 or 2. Okay, let me explain what that means. Okay, so let me explain what that means. So we want to know the flow of execution, right? That is, we want to know from where the execution will start to where it finishes. Okay, so the first time ping is invoked. Now, what is ping? Ping is a method here. So the first time it is invoked, let's do something. Okay, let's do something here. I will comment this out and call it exercise 3. Flow of execution. Being able to read codes. Let me put it here. Um, exercise 3. So I will just be putting the answers here. Let's read it. So we have, okay, so they said show the flow of execution first time ping is invoked. So what is the first time ping is invoked? And so we have a method ping here, right? Now, where is our main method? This is our main method. Now look at the main method. Probably starting void string system.out. What do you think it will print first? It will print this. So we have this. It's going to print out this. Then it's going to call method zoop. Now, where is method zoop here? This is method zoop, right? This method zoop is also calling another method called what? Baffle. That one. So look at method baffle. Where is method baffle? Method baffle is here. Method baffle just prints out what? Work. So it prints out work. And then it also does what? It calls ping. Now, when it calls ping is what? Just a dot. Abi, is it not a dot? Ping is just a dot. So, ping. Now we will go back to our main method and see it again. So we have system.out.print number one, then call Zoop. Zoop is here. Zoop says call baffle, and then we call baffle. And which is Woog and Pink. Now we are not done with Zoop. You have to go back to Zoop again and say system.out.print what? Wooga. Yeah. So the next thing here is what? Wooga. And then what is the next after Wooga? Baffle. Now where is Baffle? Baffle is Woog. Woog and what? Woog and dot. It's Woog. And what? Look at it. Pink. Pink is what? Dot. Woog and dot. Okay. Now back to your main method again. Let's check. So we have done system.out.print number one, number I, right? No I or something. Then we have Zoop. We have already done everything under Zoop right now. The next thing is what? I. Um, okay. We have done everything under Zoop, right? We have called Baffle. Yeah. We have done Wooga. Then we have done Baffle again. Yeah. So we have done everything under it. So we have I. Yes, we have I. Then we have Baffle. What is Baffle again? Go to Baffle. Baffle is Woog. Okay, Baffle is Woog. And then Ping, which is what? Dots. And dots. Now that we are done here, no, we are not done. Okay, we have done this and we have done Baffle is Woog. Yeah, we are done with the main method. Now that we are done with the main method, what is next? The next is every other method. Now, considering that we are dealing with just pink, let's go to pink. Every other method, we can say every other method we print pink is dot, right? Zoop is what? Zoop is baffle, Uwuga, and baffle. And what is baffle again? Woog and dot. So we are going to have something like this. Woog and dot, Uwuga, 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 and then Woog. And then Woog. Very funny. And dots. And dots. Good. Okay. Now, the other method that we have not considered is baffle. Baffle will be what? Woog. Woog. And dots. Okay. That's what we call flow of execution. Flow of execution. Okay. From which from where your method be invoked to the last that will be invoked. Okay, be precise about the placement of spaces and new lines. All right. So that is what we have there. Fast forward to let's see what else we have here. Okay. So also, I think this also talks about flow of execution. Draw a star diagram that shows the state of program, blah 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 blah. Okay, so most of you did not do your assignment. You will still go back and do this assignment. You will still go back. So I'm not going to do all this assignment for you. Let's go back, do this assignment on your own.